Well, hello there and welcome back. This is episode 30 of my Minecraft 1.15 Let's Play. For the third time in a row now, I am starting the video above the bedrock, but this time there is bedrock for as far as the eye can see. So I've removed all the lava from this perimeter. I probably could have left the lava be. Nothing can spawn in lava anyways. It probably would have been a lot easier, but it does look a lot better now that I've removed all the lava. And I've gone through and I've tried to remove all the netherrack blocks that are down in the floor. I was able to get the World Eater to run one more time, and then it just kind of stopped and I could not get it to start again. So that didn't work anymore. So I tried using Lightmatica to try and locate all the netherrack blocks, and it turns out there are something like 10,000 netherrack blocks underneath the bedrock that are completely inaccessible. So when you turned on the template, it just kind of completely flooded your vision with netherrack blocks for as far as like just a whole bunch of them that you could not get at, and it doesn't know the difference between ones you can get at and ones you can't. So that's not going to work at all. I think what's the best solution I have right now is the mundane solution of turning off my mob switch and just kind of like seeing where things spawn, going to where there are spawns, and then seeing if there's a block underneath it and removing that block. That's the best I can come up with. I'm open to suggestions. I'm not going to actually do it just yet. It's not going to stop me from building the wither skeleton farm, and it's not really even going to hurt the rates that much. There's probably only a few blocks out here that are spawnable, and there's going to be a lot more spawnable blocks up there. I do want to eventually figure out how to get rid of them all, but if you guys have any suggestions on ways that I can make sure to get rid of all the blocks, I would be definitely open to that suggestion. So the last thing I've done is I've also removed the flying machine, the big World Eater, so that's all been taken apart. So this whole area is clear and we're ready to start building a wither skeleton farm. And this is where it's going to go. This is the center of our intersection that we picked. It was probably like 5 episodes now ago at this point. So we're going to build up from here. And yeah, let's get to it. So there's several designs on how you can build a wither skeleton farm. Most of them revolve around the principle of the intersection. And then it's just a matter of how you move the wither skeletons after that. Now, Nembomb has a pretty cool design that involves flying machines, but I have a tendency to leave flying machines on when I leave an area, and they cause problems. And there's ways you can get around that, but Logical Geek Boy has come out with an interesting way to do that uses dogs to move the wither skeletons. So I'd like to try that. I think it's a really cool idea that dogs will flee from a wither skeleton. Wither skeletons will flee from a dog, and then you move them over towards an iron golem, and then they'll chase after the iron golem and fall into a hole, and then everything else will just kill with wither roses, because wither skeletons won't take any damage from the wither rose. So we got one good boy right here. I've actually had this guy since episode 1. Let's leave him here for now. The other one actually died. I used to have 2 of them, so I need to go and find another one, and then I need to move them through the nether, which might take a little bit of work, but there should be, in this forest over here, there should be some wolves, one place or another. Let me find one. There's one. Didn't take me long at all, so let's give him one bone. Okay. I got both of the dogs leashed up, and I need to get them up to the top of the nether. This is my spawn area. There's no bubble vader here because it would ruin the aesthetic, so I'm going to have to portal jump a little bit. You guys go through. Come on. And take them to the floating island and use the bubble vader over there. It's not far away. And then I think they'll just follow me up the bubble vader. If not, I might have to use a leash, but I think they'll just follow me straight up. Yep. That looks silly. And then one of them teleported. Where's the other guy? Did only one of them follow me? It looks like only one of them. All right. Oh, no, there they both are. Then we can go through this portal. And then it's going to be a long walk because it's about 1,000 blocks in that direction. But this is the easiest way I could think of because there's not really any obstacles up on the nether roof. Turns out it was even easier than I thought because these guys just teleported to me. I tried flying the whole distance and they wouldn't teleport the whole distance. But if I took stops every now and again, they were able to teleport each of the individual stops. And yeah, so I actually got this done pretty quickly. And then I've got a weird portal situation here. Basically, I've got a portal in the overworld with the closest portal to it is actually the one below the bedrock, or down at the bottom of the bedrock. But it looks like I've got to wait for their portal timeout to go back to normal. Hopefully I don't get attacked by any mobs in the meanwhile. I set up a little pin for them ahead of time. It's a little bit ridiculous looking because I just used the blocks that I had in my inventory to set it up. Maybe I'll clean it up later, but for the most part, I just need this area to breed up. I need at least 15. I think I'm probably going to need about 20 of them. So let's see. They should take meat, right? No? Huh. I just had particle effects off is all, so we got ourselves the first baby. Like I said, I'm going to need about 20 of them. I'm also going to need some turtle eggs in order to distract the zombie pigmen. So the last time I needed turtle eggs, I did them in this area right here. Hopefully I'm still able. There's one turtle. Hopefully there's another turtle around here somewhere. If not, I can find another region, but it shouldn't be too hard to... I think I need 6 turtle eggs. I'll grab a couple extra just in case. Oh, here's 3 turtles right here, so that's pretty nice. Let's see, we got some seagrass right down there. So that'll work really, really well. Turns out this thing is going to require quite a bit of nether brick. Definitely more than that right there. So I guess we'll fire up the old furnace array. I've got 4 shulker boxes full of nether rack. That should make me a shulker box full of nether brick, and that should hopefully do it. I've got all my materials ready to go now. And I've got my spot picked way up there. That's the starting point where I'll start building. So let's build us a wither skeleton farm. It wasn't super clear from Logical Geek Boy's video which Y level to build this farm at. From the sound of his video, it sounded as though this top level here, the floor of it would match up with the ground level of my intersection in the Nether Fortress. And I tested that out. I built the 3 platforms and then I tested it, and the bottom platform was only spawning zombie pigmen. So it actually wasn't part of the intersection. So you may have noticed from the time lapse that I removed that level and I put another level above it, which would be this top level now. So the middle level actually matches up with the floor of my intersection in the Nether Fortress. So this seems to be working properly in my testing. All 3 levels were spawning withers once I did that. And I noticed from the world download that the hoppers underneath the wither skeletons were clogging up really, really quickly. And I was trying to build a sorting system, and I even tried splitting the hoppers and having a sorting system on each side, and even that wasn't fast enough. So what I ended up having to do was I built these non-stackable item sorters that I got from Mumbo Jumbo here. There's one on each side, and what these are doing is these are taking the swords out at the very beginning of the stream. Before it even goes in any item sorter, I'm getting rid of all the swords, because those are what are clogging up the hoppers, because you can only store 5 in a hopper, and there's just droppers here that are going to spit them into lava. So those are just getting thrown away. I don't need a bunch of stone swords. And then that allows the hoppers to be freed up to deal with everything else. And then I did end up going with the 2 separate sorters so the item streams get splitted. And there's a sorter on this side and a sorter on this side. So this would be bone, this would be coal, and this would be everything else. Because every once in a while you will get a blaze or a zombie pigman or something like that. So I didn't want to set up a sorter for the wither skeletons, because then you would need to store 41 wither skeletons in the hopper in order for the sorter to work. So instead, I'm just like, everything else can go into this chest. It's simple enough. We won't get that many other items other than wither skeleton skulls. It'll never fill up these 3 chests. The other 2 items might very well. And then we've just got the same thing on the other side. I didn't technically need the 2 sorters. It was fast enough to keep up. Once I got rid of the swords, the system was fast enough to keep up. but it was really slow. You want to get your items when you're done. So the double sorters just made sure that you got your items a little bit quicker than if you just had one sorter. So this is working pretty well. So I think it's time to turn my mob spawner off, and let's see this thing in action. All right, that's a good sign. I just came through this portal, and already there are a bunch of them just sitting here. Oh my god, this is awesome. Look at it go. Don't know how many skulls I'm getting, but when you're getting this many wither skeletons, yep, this is about the rates that I was seeing in the world download. So, you know, you get some small lulls, but for the most part, they should just be a constant stream coming through. The other cool thing about this is I can flick this switch right here, and I've got some dogs on standby, and those will just do the job for me. So I can actually AFK here, although, are they even killing them faster than they're coming in? Not really. Huh. I wonder if they like accumulate it up. Obviously the AFK method is a lot slower. You don't have fortune, you know, etc. But it's pretty cool because you can do that for 8 hours, whereas you might only want to swing your sword for 30 minutes or so. So for now, I'm going to try it out with swinging the sword, and let me get my other account, and we can go see what's going on up there as well while I'm doing this. And we'll try this out for a little while and see how many wither skulls we end up getting. Man, I love this thing. This thing is on a completely different level of any other wither skeleton farm I have ever built before in this game. So I've been going at this for a little while. I actually haven't kept track of how long I've been doing this. I probably should have, say maybe about an hour. And so far I've got 50 wither skeleton skulls just chilling in my inventory. So these are the ones that bounce back towards me. And so we'll let the items go through the sorting system, and we'll go down and check and see how many items we got. But I want to say I had a couple of small issues. So one that was that some of the guys were, when they took their fall damage, they were actually dying from the fall damage. And I noticed when I was in spectator mode that some of the guys were getting caught on these walls. There were some gaps in the walls, and there were some gaps in the trap doors. So I went up and I fixed that, and so there's no gaps anymore. And now none of them are dying from the fall damage anymore. So that's awesome. The other thing is that the dogs weren't working either. So when I did that before, the dogs were actually not doing any damage. The only wither skeletons that were dying were because of the fall damage. So I had accidentally placed glass above their head, so they couldn't actually get at the wither skeletons. So now that's working properly as well. So let's go down and check these items and see how we're doing. And so we got 64 and 13 in this side, and 64 and 35 in this side. So it looks like we got about 3 stacks of wither skeleton skulls. So I can make a stack of beacons with that. So that is awesome. That is, I don't think I've ever had that many wither skeleton skulls before. So we also have just a ludicrous amount of bone. So it's going into the back chest. And we've got quite a nice coal farm here as well. So that's actually doing really awesome. So there's... yeah, so, man, some incredible amount of resources here. I am really happy with this farm. This portal here should lead me back to the same portal I used to get the wolves across here. And I think I want to move this thing above ground. Holy crap, there's a bunch of experience in here. That's kind of funny. Yeah, so I shouldn't be too far from... I might have to dig my way up above ground. I think I want to move this portal above ground, and then the other thing I need to do is I need to set up a bubble vader so this is a useful way to get here. If I fly up over above the nether, then I can come into this portal and it'll sink down to here, and then I go back through and it goes straight to there. But getting back is a lot more of a chore, so I need to set up a bubble vader to take me way up into the sky, and I'll set up a second portal up there, and then that way I can get back and forth to this thing fairly easily. So let me set all that up. Got that all built up, and now I got an easy way to and from this area. So now I'm going to make my way to the end, and we'll actually put these wither skeleton skulls to good use. I had to go and run an errand in the middle of all this, so I left the wither skeleton farm running with the dogs running it, and I've now got over 5 stacks of wither skeleton skulls. So that is over 100 beacons, just over. So I got plenty of soul sand here. We're here in the end. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill myself 100 withers. And I'm going to do it the cheaty way, of course. I'm pretty sure they're going to blow up all these buttons and I'm going to have to replace them. But, oh well. So let's kill ourselves 100 withers. I ended up with 108 nether stars. So this is 100, these 2 stacks right here, and then an additional 8. Technically 109 because I set up this one with strength 2 in order to speed up the whole process. So that's pretty awesome. I do not have nearly enough obsidian in order to turn all these into beacons, but the hard work is done. The hard work is getting all the wither skeletons and then killing the withers, so I can easily turn these into beacons as needed. I definitely don't need 100 right away. I may eventually use 100 though, because I can just kind of spam them wherever I need them, and that'll be pretty cool. So I'm going to worry about the obsidian later and move on to other things for now. I came back here and let it AFK overnight, and I'm level 212, which is fun. So let's see how the items did. My guess is that the bones overflowed because it generates bones really, really quickly. Yeah, the bones are all the way in over to here. So I might have to do something about these bones. If I want to use this as like a coal farm, it is definitely a very useful coal farm. I might need to just get rid of the bones because I emptied out the bones into 3 shulker boxes of bone blocks before I started it last night, and so overnight it filled up all these bones. This is just way more bones than I need. Like, I have a regular mob farm to deal with all the bones, so I'll probably just start throwing all the bones away. I just don't need this many bones. But the coal, using this as a coal farm, obviously I will probably never need more wither skeleton skulls than however many this is, because this is ridiculous. Alright, what is that? That is 9 stacks and 42. That's several hundred wither skeleton skulls. That's just... oh, that's a lot of fun. That's a total of 618 wither skeleton skulls, plus the 300 some I got before, so I generated over 900 wither skeleton skulls in a day. So it's been a long road getting here, but those are some pretty rewarding results. As far as the perimeter goes, I would probably never do anything like this in a single player world. There's just no reason to do this in a single player world unless you're doing it just because you think it would be cool. Like, it's just, never do this because you think it'd be the most efficient, because this is a lot of work, and you could just find a nether fortress that is above lava and place a bunch of buttons, and it would be a lot less work. And I'll also post a link in the description for another wither skeleton farm by Raiseworks that allows you to AFK above the nether, and then you don't have to place as many buttons. It wouldn't be as efficient as this, but I mean, who really needs 900 wither skeleton skulls in a single player world? As far as the server goes though, this is a pretty cool project. If you've got several people working on it, this would be a pretty cool thing to do, and having access to this many wither skeleton skulls would probably be pretty useful. So if you're going to do that, just make sure to test, and do a backup if at all possible. But yeah, I mean, this has definitely been a cool, fun farm, and it's definitely pretty cool that I have a coal farm now. I definitely make some use out of that. My nether hub and my floating island have been neglected quite a bit over these last few episodes. I just haven't had time to work on them with the other project that I've been working on. So now that I've got that all finished, I'm going to start with this nether hub project. I've turned my mob switch on so I don't have to worry about any gas spawning while I'm working on it. I want to start with this one because I want to free up all these shulker boxes full of black stained glass. So those will be nice to be able to get back. And then I will worry about the floating island in my next episode. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode and have a good day. Bye now.